everybody. Just wanted to put something out there. I was thinking about this overnight, and I really think that so many parents, when they're buying their kid their first guitar, they get it like almost right. So, my name is Austin Randolph. If you like what I do here, feel free to give me a follow. That'd be really generous of you. I'm trying to build this thing up to 1,000 subs, and then give me a follow on TikTok if you're on TikTok. Same username as here. But today we're talking about Fender Stratocaster. Pretty much guitar that's been unchanged since, what is it, like 1956 or whenever it came out. A lot of parents that are doing research for, like, my kid wants to play electric guitar, what is the first guitar to get him? It really boils down to like a couple of different models, and I think that for a lot of people, the Fender Stratocaster is kind of at the top of that list. And I think that's fine if you, I'll just put it out there, I think it's fine if you get a Strat with a humbucker in the bridge. But if you buy a traditional layout Strat for your kid, I don't think that's a good first guitar at all. I think your kid's gonna hate it after like 4 months. What do I mean by that? All right, so I've put my claim out there is that like a Fender Stratocaster in the traditional sense, which looks like this, has 3 single coil pickups. That's where, as time goes on, you'll find in any of the more like modern models of Stratocaster, they all have a humbucker in the bridge. Why do they have a humbucker in the bridge? Well, frankly, I've always kind of found that the single coil in the bridge on a Stratocaster is kind of useless. It's really thin. And if you're doing anything that involves turning the gain up on your amp and getting any kind of like traditional like rock to like moderately heavy stuff to even like heavier stuff, you need a humbucking pickup, and your traditional Stratocaster doesn't have that. I mean, it all depends. If your kid plays John Mayer and only John Mayer, then like, or Stevie Ray Vaughan or whatever, then 3 singles would be fine. But that's reason number 1. With a humbucking pickup, much better choice. But I feel like a lot of parents, they see this shape, and this shape has been around for so long, and it's like so iconic that so many guitar starter packs, they have a guitar that's this shape. These 3 things are really important. If it's somebody's first guitar, it's got to have a humbucker in the bridge. Means it looks like 2 pickups together instead of just 1. Very important. Reason number 2. Well, so the Strat has a lot good going for it, right? It's on the lighter side. It has 2 cutaways so that it's easy to get way up there. I mean, I don't know how many beginners are like shredding way up here, but you can if you want. Stays in tune great, super reliable, simple control layout. You can get a ton of different sounds from the 5-way switch. But the Stratocaster there's a lot of moving parts. And what I mean by that is a guitar is only as good. Look, man, I don't care if you have like literally a $40,000 like Gibson 59 reissue Les Paul. If the setup on it is terrible, the guitar is going to be like terrible to play. And when you're thinking about something made by like Gibson or Epiphone, they have less moving parts. What I mean by less moving parts, somebody once, when I was like watching YouTube videos trying to figure out how to do like setups myself, which is not that hard to do, it just takes a little while to learn. And I was watching videos about Stratocasters. Somebody described setting up a Stratocaster like a balancing act. And I was like, that's an interesting metaphor. And I think it's very correct. So up top, you have your tuners, like on every guitar. They kind of all do the same thing. What he means is this bridge is not a normal like Gibson, Epiphone, whatever bridge where it's literally just like post drilled into the body. you got all this shit going on in the back. These springs keep tension on this, and the number of springs mean the number of tension and your ability to use a whammy bar. But another thing a lot of people don't talk about, every single string, sorry, my mouth looks weird over in the corner like this. Every little string has the ability to adjust for action. So how low your string is, how close it is, or far away it is from your fretboard. I'm a big believer that the less moving parts, kind of like if you buy a car, right? If you buy, let's say like a Lincoln and the seats have built-in massagers, that's great if the car is brand new. As things get older, as things get beaten up, I'm a big believer that the less complicated something is, the less shit there is to break and adjust over time and fix over time. When you're adjusting the action on like a Gibson guitar, you have two screws. This side goes up or down, this side goes up or down. This has two screws for every single string. It's just more shit that can go wrong and more shit that needs to be tweaked. And here's the thing, the Stratocaster, I heard somebody describe it once as like a ballerina, where it's like a really, which, you know, is a very flowery analogy, but it's a sensitive instrument that takes any input you give it, really, and like amplifies it. No pun intended. But it's not like, if I was buying a car for my first kid, I wouldn't get them like something like a Land Rover that's like, that I know is kind of on the more complicated side. Man, that kid's getting a Toyota. I'll tell you what. And a Stratocaster is a great guitar. It really is. But I just think a lot of parents default to, they've seen this shape for so long and they buy this shape for the kid. And that's fine. Like I said, if the kid loves John Mayer, Stevie Ray Vaughan, big Jimi Hendrix kid, whatever, sweet, cool. But if your kid wants to branch out, you get a lot more with a humbucker in the bridge. You can venture out a lot more into heavier stuff. But whatever you do, for the love of God, if you do get your kid a Stratocaster, get it set up by somebody who knows what they're doing. Set up just makes it playable. Excuse me, it's pretty early here. Just my 2 cents. I think there's other guitar models that, like, if your kid is just getting into it, you can buy something else. You don't just need to default to a Stratocaster. There's a whole lot going on here and a lot that can go wrong. Man, look at an SG, look at a Les Paul. They're a lot simpler, and I love this guitar with all my heart. The reason I'm making this whole thing is I played a 3S, so like 3 single coil Stratocaster. That was my first guitar, and I played that. That was the only thing I had to play for like 12 years, and boy, it provided some challenges. So just look at something a little more versatile. Look at something a little more utilitarian. Strat's a great instrument. Utilitarian isn't a word I would associate with it, but that's my 2 cents, guys. Did any of you also experience having a Stratocaster as your first guitar and spending a lot of time really fed up with it, like I did, either because it was playing like shit and you didn't know how to fix it, or just because you wanted to kind of venture into some heavier stuff and it just wouldn't do it? So let me know. Per usual, let me know if I'm completely full of shit, if I have a good point, or if you guys had like a similar experience. So that's all I got, everybody. I hope you all have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you guys later.